Bitcoin is breaking out here. And now the big question is, are you too late to take advantage of this move? Or is there still time to get in potential life-changing gains? That is something that we need to talk about. We will also talk about some altcoins today. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, like this video and activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these really important updates. And now let's get it. Let's start off today with the CME chart, because something that I was not expecting happened here, and that is that the CME gap started trading here at $64,000. That's not the surprising part for me, so that yesterday we started trading at 64. Surprisingly, the price action from Friday was measured here from the wick and not from the candle body as I had it before, because that is now our CME gap. Let me show you in the past CME gaps, So when you look here, these wicks, they get sometimes filled, but not all the time, as you can see here. And if we go more over here, see here, the sometimes it's just to the top, sometimes it's all the way down. It depends, So for example here, so here we only, a long time later we came down to fill that wick. But let me actually go here a little bit further back, because I know it's not always filling the wick of the candle. Yeah, for example here, so here the top of the wick was never filled, So, okay, we have here a wick below that got filled, but also here, so here just overshot. I'm not counting the wicks for filling a CME gap. You can do that, but you don't have to. So if you want to do that, let me just basically put here a dashed or dotted line, dashed line in it. It's just if you want to count it from, all the way down there. Technically, I'm not doing that, So here, the CME gap for me is from $63,700 approximately to $64,000, a $300 gap. I believe this gap could get filled today. Potentially, we were trying to fill it, but then got bought back up again. So bulls are in control right now, holding the price above $64,000, also on the spot chart, if I'm not mistaken. And here, this CME gap on the spot chart might be your best chance of a good sniper entry to take advantage of what's coming afterwards. Unless Bitcoin decides not to go straight to $70,000, then of course you missed it. But also for that, I will give you some opportunities where you will be able to enter before that move actually happens. When we're going to the weekly chart, as you can see here, we are at $64,177. Okay, $185 now. Here we actually got what I was hoping for, and that is a new weekly candle above that downward sloping resistance line. So we have officially now broken above that. Here, what I would like to see over the course of the week is that we are closing at least at 65,300, so that we have a distinctive candle here to the upside. And because most likely the next one will be a continuation candle into the $70,000 area, again, potentially by next week. One reason for that is that the stochastic RSI will get a buy signal by next week's candle here in the price action, as long as we are closing above $65,000. Then we're going to get here the blue line, the signal line, crossing the trend line. Sorry, the other way around. Blue line is trend line, red line is signal line. And when they are crossing over, so when the trend line goes over the signal line, that is a buy signal. And then we see continuation in the price action to the upside. Now, and we're going into shorter time frames. Here also really beautiful retest of our support area here from $62,690 to $63,700. So we went here to $65,480. From there, we got rejected, came to our support area that I said yesterday needs to be flipped, and now going here back to the upside. Why did we get rejected from 65,500? Because here, there, if I would draw here a horizontal level, then you see when we go here in the past that here is some sort of resistance, because here it was support, here we broke the support, deviation above prior support, then it turned into resistance. Here then again short-lived support, here, and then broke support, did not even get close for a retest. Today we got really close, but also still not a proper retest, and got a rejection from that level, and that's why we came back down. So you see there is some sort of resistance, and that's why the Bitcoin price reacted the way it did today. Regardless, we have here a beautiful price structure. The stochastic is almost at the bottom. The RSI shows already that momentum is again shifting to the upside here on the shorter time frames, and the MACD is still printing green candles. In 30 minutes we're gonna get the next one. So here I also bet in like 3-4 hours potentially we will be back around $65,000 if nothing crazy happens, Now on the daily chart, I should have done this first, but it's okay, So here on the daily chart, we're above our support and resistance flip zone. The bull flag is still intact. The Bitcoin price is arranging here in that big flag. And here you can also see we got really close to the mid-range at $65,975. Got also rejected from that level, hence why we're going down right now. But once we are reclaiming this level here, I expect that we see a breakout out of that bull flag formation in like a span of 2 to 4 days maximum. That will bring Bitcoin back above $70,000, and that can be happening as early as next week, as I said. I'm not so convinced that this can happen this week, but next week I'm pretty confident. Now, when we go into the 4-hourly chart here, also we got a nice test of the downward sloping trend line of our symmetrical triangle. Got rejected for now. Here, I would like to see that we are coming down to the EMA ribbon. Remember, guys, the further we go away from it, the more likely it is that we are coming back down to test it. In the next 12 to 16 hours, I expect a retest of the ribbon, which is bullish, guys. So that is bullish. That will give you an opportunity to get into Bitcoin if you want to take it. So most likely we come back at the current movement around 62,900, 63,100. That will be your final window of opportunity, in my opinion, to get in before we are seeing then Bitcoin skyrocketing to the upside. If we move before above $65,600, then that level becomes your entry. And then you ride it as high as you can from there, like $70,000 and plus. When we are looking here at our imbalances on this chart, and so we stepped into the first one, filled it a little bit less than half, and then got rejected to the downside. Remember, I told you that I was expecting something like that. Go back like 3-4 days. In my videos, I said when we come into this imbalance, there's a lot of resistance. I expect a rejection from there, then come back up, and then actually continuation to the upside. This is most likely what's playing out here right now. As long as the underlying support level is holding, I'm not really concerned. Every dip back into here, the support zone, or in the former imbalance below us, is a window of opportunity that you should take advantage of for opening long positions. The stochastic RSI is not looking too healthy right now because of that big wick to the downside, but nonetheless, I expect here over the next 12 hours definitely continuation, maybe some sideways movement first so that the stochastic can reset over the next 8 to 12 hours, which would be fine, as long as we are above $64,000. I'm not too worried about that. Here, I would only like to see a reclaim also. $64,500 is the level that I'm watching right now. once we are breaking that convincingly the next time, I'm pretty sure that we are going all the way up to fill this FVG here, this imbalance, and will tap $67,000. On this 1 hourly chart, now we are actually below that support zone here again, from 65,100 to 64,400 on the 1 hourly chart. So we just broke below this again. Here, that is only short-lived in my opinion. In the next hour, we're going to break back into it. We are trying right now already to do this. Remember here, this bull flag formation broke down to the upside. The target is all the way up here at $68,218. If you were too late to enter at the breakout, now you will get an opportunity to enter at 64,400 for this specific pattern. So you missed like $400, you know, so it's not even 1%. So it's definitely still possible to enter this trade a little bit belated, you know, so just be aware. If you take the same stop loss that I had given, which is like kind of here, this will be a much bigger stop loss than the initial one for you, because there is a $400 difference, you know. So but the target is the same, and I am still confident that we are going to see this target being smashed in the next 7 to 10 days. So if you are in the trade right now, don't worry, you should be fine. Let's have a look at some of my trades here. So my Solana trade is exploding, $3,300 here on Margex. The link is in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment, guys. So if you want to sign up on Margex, do that. You see here I have right now $17,700 plus the $3,300, so I'm over $20,000 up here on this account so far. On BYBIT, also my trades here doing really well, you know. So my RNDR trade is here 62% up right now, over $1,000, and also my Solana trade is up 25%, almost $1,500. So here all my trades are doing pretty well. And on Phemex, my fetch trade that I showed you yesterday was like 25%. Now it's $620, 135%. Also here, I'm over $3,000, $3,100 now trading with on this account, just because this trade exploded for me. So, and don't forget, guys, all the links to BYBIT and Phemex and also Margex are in the pinned comment below in the description of the video. If you want to trade anywhere, use these exchanges. They're amazing. Just go and check them out. So now when we're talking about liquidation levels, remember, guys, I told you I was expecting that we are stepping into this here, and that we are also getting from here then potentially a rejection to the downside, and that's exactly what happened. Now, once we are getting through this and go to like 66,700-ish, from there we're gonna get another short squeeze to like 69 approximately. Here I would expect another retracement, because there's the prior all-time high, so not the new one that we made this year. I would still expect some resistance from that level, and then we come back down and then go to the upside, liquidate everybody else. Here on the EMAs, the 50 and the 200, you see the 50 is coming up here as expected. The 200 is also slightly going up. So here by Wednesday, potentially, we are getting our golden cross. Wednesday or Thursday, we should get our golden cross, and that should then also reflect in the Bitcoin price to be somewhere around $66,000 or $67,000 once we are getting that golden cross. The liquidation heat map on the monthly, so you see here $67,400 is a big level where we would liquidate a lot of people. That's why I said, you know, so expect a short squeeze into that level, and then a small rejection before we continue then into higher prices here, here into this area of $72,000. There is right now $1.15 billion worth of short liquidations, actually $2.5 billion worth of short liquidations at around $71,600 to $72,000. So in that $400 range, there's like $2.5 billion worth of short liquidations. This is a lot of money, guys, you know, so market makers going to drive the price into these levels to take the liquidity out. So don't be mistaken, you know, so they're definitely going to drive it up there. Can they drive it down here a little bit? Yeah, 63,500, something like that. Maybe a little bit lower, you know, to close the CME gap, like 63. But then I would definitely expect another skyrocket move here to the upside to liquidate everybody. Let's also have a look here the last 24 hours. Yeah, here you see why I said I could imagine that we get a move to the downside here, 63,400. There's like $50 million worth of liquidations. And then if we go here all the way down to $62,800 approximately, that would actually fill the CME gap. And once we're doing this, I expect from there a massive bounce back to the upside. When we're looking at the USDT dominance, the dominance is falling as I was expecting it. Here we broke below the 5% level, now retesting the 4.74% level. So we did this already, got a bounce back up. But I want to see this broken and a nice candle to the downside to like 4.6%. That would be really nice. If we can get a move like this, that would basically be the nail in the coffin that risk is on again and everybody starts leveraging once again. And this will be also then reflected in the funding rates. Right now, you see here yesterday the areas that were dark blue, they start to be green. So that shows you leverage is coming really, really slowly back into the market. I guess a lot of people got washed out on the last big flush that we had a couple of weeks ago. And I guess they are now a little bit more risk adverse when it comes to their trading. So they're paying more attention and or taking not as much leverage anymore. And that's why you see here still everything pretty in the green. If we move it here to 50%, still kind of like the same picture. So up to 200, everything fine. Let's move it actually to like 120 is actually a good level to watch. So here again, so still super, super green, still a good time to build long positions for the next run to the upside. Now, the Bitcoin dominance also falling to the downside while Bitcoin is going up. Remember, guys, I told you this is a really, really good sign when we see something like this. When the dominance is falling, Bitcoin keeps going up. That are early signs for an alt season to be happening. Now, I would like to see that we fall here over the course of the week all the way down to like 54.33%, potentially break this level. But I also gonna tell you that most likely here from this upward sloping support line, we gonna get a bounce, but I hope it will end in something like this afterwards. Again, I want this to be happening really slowly. I don't want to see a fall of the dominance like here, so that is unhealthy. I want to see, like what we are seeing now, a slow move here to the downside. Let it go slow down, with some up and downs, let it go slow. Still, altcoins will do well in a downwards trend of the dominance, so I just don't want these massive flash moves in the dominance to the downside where everything is exploding. Everybody forgets risk, that there's risk involved, is over leveraging themselves and gets liquidated, so that is not what we want here. Now, the total market cap, basically putting the same pattern in like the Bitcoin weekly chart, so we are above the downward sloping trend line. We went on all the way to $2.36 trillion, almost. Got rejected from that level. Now we are back into our small support area of $2.25 to $2.3 trillion. Here also, if we can close this week's candle, even as it is, I take it, so I take it, and I would expect then here a further move to $2.5 trillion. But let me tell you, I believe that the total market could surprise us this week, and we could see this move happening this week. So I don't think we need potentially to wait another week for that. I believe this can happen this week. We're looking at Ethereum. I adjusted a little bit the lines here for that rising wedge, so because I think it's more accurate right now that way. So here we are also trading in the support area that I mentioned yesterday, also still above, basically now just sitting on the point of control on the VPVR, the volume traded area. As long as we are holding this, we should see a bounce and continuation to the upside. Lose this and we will get most likely back to like $3,100. Also here, that will be a good opportunity for you to get in. before we see then also Ethereum continuing here to the upside. I don't believe that a break of this rising wedge pattern would lead to a move to the target of it all the way down to $2,800. I just don't see it as too much strength right now in the market. 3,100, potentially 3,050, yes, but not lower than that. So if you're not in Ethereum yet, I would stack some orders between 3,100 and 3,050. And if we break higher, then 3,200 would become your entry once we are closing at least a 1 hourly candle above that level. Because once we are doing that, it will take maybe 12, 24 hours. Then we are going to see a move to $3,360, which is like a 5% move. So you definitely want to make sure that you are then already in Ethereum. Here on the daily chart, things look a little bit different. The falling wedge pattern is here absolutely intact. The Ethereum price broke out yesterday as expected, but also here we are facing major resistance, hence why we see this rejection from this resistance area right now. Here I would like to see a move back to $3,220. I believe there's still enough momentum based on the indicators in Ethereum to do that. And let me get the EMA ribbon. I did not look for a long time here on the EMA ribbon. Yeah, here another reason why we got rejected from this level, because there's the top of the EMA ribbon. So I would also like to see a reclaim of the EMA ribbon today. There's so much stuff aligning here. It's getting a little bit crazy, you know. So here's again the W pattern for Ethereum, you know. So I gave you the target already, but I'm gonna do it quick again. So here the technical target is $3,877, more or less, for the W pattern once we are breaking $3,347. Yeah, can happen this week, you know, that we are breaking it. Right now, I don't want to lean myself too much out of the window, you know, so until we are above the EMA ribbon, you know. So if we get a daily close above the EMA ribbon, or even 2 days above the EMA ribbon, hey, go for it, you know. So you jump the gun, jump a little bit earlier into this trade already before we are breaking $3,350. Because once we are doing that, I believe Ethereum will not wait really long to break that level and continue to move here into higher levels. Now, Solana had a nice breakout from our second buy zone. Remember, guys, I told you, start buying here, you know. So, and if it gets lower, then buy more. If we start breaking to the upside, then also there start buying, you know. So now we got rejected from the $155 level. That is not really interesting for me because my first take profit is here at 167, 171-ish. So I see this here just as a small consolidation phase where we are flagging, you know, so or create another pennant before we see another move to the upside. And that is for you also a good opportunity to get into Solana if you were fumbling here this opportunity of that buy zone to get in here at $154. But only when we have either a flag formation, you know, where we get a breakout to the upside, or this pennant, and get from there a break to the upside. So depending on which pattern we are getting, but more or less, yeah, anyway, you should not enter before like $156. You will be not too late, you know, so, and you can still take at least a 10% move with you in profits, you know, so, and then of course the higher target at $200, close to $200 to get out of the rest of your position. Guys, that's it for today's quick update. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.